guys, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Worth Guitars. Good to see you guys. I hope life is treating you well. Got some snow, so everybody's locked in, man. We're all snowed in. So while I'm in here, snowed in, the electronics department had to call it a day because they can't get here because of the snow. And so today, I've been out here and I finished kind of assembling the GH2, the single cutaway, and it's ready for electronics. But I don't want to show you that until it's all hooked up and jamming, you know what I mean? So then I was looking at other things I need to do, and I remember that I need to cut this kerfing. Kerfing? Not purfling. Kerfing. I believe that's exactly what it's called. For an acoustic guitar. We did this a few videos back. Made a little more of it, and this is intended to bend around inside the acoustic guitar body. And this allows you to have a much bigger glue joint right here. Let me take this out of here. It's easier to see that way. This big old giant thing. Take it out of the mold. Okay, so these are the sides that I glued up for a Spanish style classical guitar. This block is too big. I gotta cut some of that down. And I'm not gonna do this the way the majority of classical guitars are built. I'm gonna make it more like a standard acoustic build where the neck will come off. The neck will be bolted in through here. Kind of like, you know, most guitar companies do it now. Some glue it after they bolt it. Others just leave it bolted. So you can take the neck off and repair the neck and repair the body easier. So there's 2 through bolts that go through and then hook to the neck. The neck has 2 bolts that come through. You know, I'll show you that as we get to it. It's hard to describe it. So anyway, what I was saying is, you have this very thin side. It's only like 100,000ths of an inch thick, a little under 1/8 of an inch. So there's not much of a glue joint there to glue the top and the back on with. So we use this kerfing that bends down inside there. I don't want to bend it and break it. I got to heat it up a little bit. But let me see if I can get it where you can see it. This is hard to do. Hold on. Let me try it a different way. Hold on. Okay, so the purpose of it having all the kerfs in it, why they call it kerfing strip, is so that it'll bend inside here. Now, it won't bend real good on these tight curves. I got to wet it. And I got to, I may even have to put just little blocks around in there. I'm hoping that I can wet it and steam it. And I can get just that little bit where you don't cut through. You see, right there. I just got to bend that much. The rest of it should steam around. But I got to try it. But before I do that, this is a new build. And it's one of our first acoustic guitars. We've built some acoustic guitars in the past, but it's been a long time. So we're going to get back into it now. We got 2 to do, and I'm hoping to do a lot more in the future because I have some wood set aside for them, and I'm just going to start doing them. So hold on, let me get you back where you were. So what we need to do is we need to cut an angle on here because it's square now and it needs to be angled. And the reason I didn't cut an angle on it before I put the kerfs in it is because I got a little kerf machine. If you look back in some of the videos back in the past, maybe I can look it up and figure out which one it was. And you can find it easier. Put a link to it on there or something. Cuts all these kerfs for us on the bandsaw. And then you got to come back and cut the angle on it. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut the angle on it so that I can try a piece in here and see where we get. So that's the trick for today. That's our thing to do for the moment. Anyway, one of the things we're doing. Put this back in the mold so it doesn't get damaged. That just slips back in there. Like so. There we go. That stays in there. And then it doesn't get hurt. Nobody gets hurt. So, I got ready to go over here to the bandsaw and cut it, and I realized that the fence gets in the way. So what I need to do is I need to glue this piece onto the fence. I'll show you what I mean. Hang on a second. I want to cut that angle on this strip. So I've tilted the bandsaw table. And I don't want to just kind of eyeball it. I need to use a fence, right? So, as you can see, the fence won't get close enough because it hits the blade. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this instead. We're going to take a piece of wood, and we're going to glue it to the side of the fence with some double-sided tape. Then I can creep right up close enough to where I got a fence here, and I can put a block on either side of it, and I can accurately feed the pieces through there and cut the angle, as you will see in just a few minutes. So we're just going to do the double-sided tape trick here. You know that. You've seen that already. Let me get this. I'm kind of hard to work on that. There we go. That's easier. Strip of tape. Put it on here, right here. Like so. Right. Easy enough. Strip along there. Doesn't need to be the whole way. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't have any tension against it. It's just being held there temporarily. Put that on there like that. Then we go back over to the bandsaw and set it in place. We'll use the bandsaw to make sure that we get it flat on there. Right? Tighten that up a little bit, and then we can hold that down flat where we need it to be, in the right place on the fence, until it sets up. Okay, now it's stuck on there. And we can move this down to where we want it to be. And we can give it a try and see where we're at. That's what we're trying to do, see that? So, I gotta move the fence over a little bit more, and then we'll rock and roll cut these out. I need to put a block right here though to hold that against the fence. So let me do that. Alright, let's cut this stuff. There we go. We got to sand it, and then we're good to go. And that makes it more flexible too. Got a nice angle on it now. It's bend in there easier. This will work really well. Cut some more. That was fun. Let's do it again. So I got a bunch of these tiny clamps for gluing kerfing on. I need to put these in this bucket because it's a hassle, you know, little tiny clamps everywhere. So let's do that. That'll do for the moment. And we're going to try and bend one of those pieces in. Come over here where you can see me better. gonna try and bend one of those pieces in around here, just to see how it does. Okay, so I went ahead and cut a piece and glued it. I didn't glue it. Cut a piece and stuck it on there with some of these little tiny clamps. You want to talk about being lucky? Let me show you something. You see this clamp, how it's made? Sheet metal, kind of bended and a spring in the middle. This clamp will fit perfectly right in between those two curves. See that? So that I'm clamping down the whole pressure of the clamp. I set up the jig. It was my intention to try to do that. I got lucky on the first try. Sometimes you get lucky, right? So it works really well because I can get on the places, especially outside curves, I can get right down inside there and I get pressure flat. It's hard to describe it. It's hard to describe it. But I get the pressure on the flat spot that I'm trying to clamp. Because the clamp is all the way down inside there, all the way to the end. So I'm getting a really good clamp all the way up onto the side of the guitar. Let me show you what I do. Now, not all of these will go in there because as it comes in here, it closes up. Let me show you what I got. So I just took a piece and started gluing. No, I'm not gluing it. I'm just trying a piece. And I think with a little bit of heat, you see how that one piece cracked right there in that hard bend? With a little bit of heat, I can get that to come on around in there. So, I'm going to experiment a little with that today. And then we have this nice kerfing strip, kerf liner inside here that gives us a great glue joint for the top and bottom. So that's what I've been trying to do today. Trying to get geared up to do that because we got this build coming up. This is going to be a big part of the YouTube vision here very soon. And we also have a very cool SG style, G style, or the G-Man coming up. And we're going to keep that one on the down low until we get it just about right. I got a cool piece of wood for it. Hold on. Hang on, buddy. I'm coming. This is a piece of quilted red maple. Now it's very roughly sanded, so you can't see the cool quilt in it yet. And it is bare minimum the size I need, man, as far as thickness. So when I resaw this, man, it's gonna be tough. It's my line, you see. I gotta cut that right in half, straight down the center. I need to be very accurate. I don't have any wood to waste. When I resaw this, we'll get to see what it looks like inside. You'll get to see what no other man has ever seen. And that'll be the inside of this board. And this is gonna look really good, man, because the color of this guitar is burgundy. Very, very rich burgundy color. And man, I can't wait to get some stain on the top. Get that dye on there, man, and just watch it go, wow, look at me, right? So anyway, that's where we're at today, guys. Not the most exciting YouTube video I've done, but I had to get these things done. I had to get the curve cut, and I did that. And so I feel good about it. You know, when there's that little thing that you still got to do. I still got some stuff I got to do to get geared up. One thing about building guitars is you got to get geared up. You got to get tooled up for each build. You got to figure out what wood is, you know, what it's going to be. You know, you got to do some drawings. You'll see. I'm going to keep playing around with this, see where I can get without heating it up, maybe just getting it wet and try to bend it with some hot water, see what that does. I have a very nice pipe bender, man, that I need. It's perfect for this right now. So I'm not going to get too far with it, but we're going to be ready when we get to the new shop and we get out our acoustic tools and we can get set up with like an acoustic department is kind of my vision. I'm not going to have this huge, grand, you know, gigantic shop or anything. I'm just going to be, you know, a little bigger than this one, and we'll just try to get a little bigger and a little bigger. I'm hoping to set up an area where I do acoustic guitars at, you know, the bender and those types of tools that you need for doing acoustics with. So we'll see how that goes. Until then, it was good to talk to you guys again. I hope the coming week and coming days are good to you and your family. Be safe out there. Do all the things you need to do. Be good to each other. I'm going to stop preaching at you and pointing to you. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. All right. We'll see you, man. Thanks. Comments. We'll see some comments. All right. Thanks. Like and subscribe. All that stuff. You know what I mean. You hear it every time you watch a video, don't you? We'll see you out there. Bye now.